Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Week's gap because of a hectic and busy schedule that we are having in MBA, definitely. But I'm up here with a very important topic because many people have been asking me like, how was your Vgsom interview experience through which you got to IIT Kharagpur Vgsom? Well, let me tell you, it was terrific, at the same time horrendous. Horrendous in the sense that I thought that I really screwed up. Because of lack of a technical knowledge in the domains that they were asking, definitely. And definitely I thought that I won't get a chance because it was the most grilling experience in any interview that I have faced till date. And at a point of time I was like begging the interviewers that let me go because I am not being able to answer up to the mark, which I thought I was not. But fortunately or unfortunately, things clicked, definitely fortunately, and it happened. I got selected in Vgsom in the second list itself. So my interview went very good, to be very honest, because my CAT percentile wasn't that great. So my interview was very good according to the judges of the interview, at least. Well, to me, the interview wasn't that great in the sense that I couldn't answer it. The questions were really brilliant, and one couldn't think of those questions, the way they were asking and comforting me at the same point of time, that if you cannot answer this, let's move ahead with a different thing. But it happened kind of at a point of time that I was about to break out, but I eventually controlled myself and I handled the stress, and that's what is called a stress interview. So basically, to start with, there were three panelists, P1, P2 and P3, let's name them. And P1 started with this cliche question that tell me something about yourself. I told them about my business ventures, about my work experience, about my academics and my background, and straight away this question comes up that since they were intrigued by business, and I knew that question is going to come in that domain. So what is your business model and how do you handle the business, like how do you analyze the market and all of these market research things? And I told them that how do I capture my customers and what is the business model and how do we do business, all those stuff. And then he went about like straight away, panelist one, he was an aged man, so he told me that with my experience I can see that you have had a lot of things that you have been doing. You're almost an established manager. Why do you want to do MBA at all? And if you do want to do an MBA, would you be able to handle all the things simultaneously? Like, I am facing a lot of difficulty in recording this stuff right now. So he was talking about it, but little did I know that MBA is too much of a pressure then, and that's why I confronted straight away, yes, I am going to handle it, because I have been handling 3 or 4 ventures simultaneously. I've been handling it with my job. So he exactly asked me the structure of how do I think I will be able to tackle it, or what is the plan of action, to be honest, like what are the things that I'm planning to do? How do I think that I will be able to tackle it? How much time do I need to dedicate to each of these individual ventures that I have had? So I told them that it doesn't require much of a time. It requires about 2 hours or 3 hours for the videos on my YouTube channel, and thereafter the certain things that I have been doing, how much time like weekend structure or occasional happenings are there. So basically not a regular engagement. So you can handle 2 stuff simultaneously, and I convinced them to quite a bit extent, and everything was going well till then, and then kept this cliche question once again that tell me something about Hindustan Zinc Limited. What does it do? Their financial statement, what is their profit after tax, and how much did they make this year? So I was accustomed with this statistics, and I kind of read through it before going to the interview because I knew that this type of questions will be coming, and I straight away quoted the figures. And then they told me what was your role or job responsibility at Excel, and I told them that I was a shift engineer and I was supposed to do these kind of things. So mostly about the job profile that you are handling and about the management and the financial stats of that particular company that you are working in. So you should be knowing in and out of that particular company. What do they deal in? What are the financial statements? Particularly last quarter report, you should read through the last quarter report in particular when you are going for this interview, because they are always going to, the interviewers are always going to look for that answer, that how is the business of the company that you are in doing and what's your individual role in it. So definitely read through it, because these type of questions do come. And then came another domain altogether, which was very, very intriguing for me, and kind of kept it iterated the things. He asked me about this probability of rolling 2 dice simultaneously and what is the expected value. Now, I have studied statistics and I know what expected value means, but at that snap of a moment, it didn't click. And once it doesn't click, no matter how much you hit around the bush, you are never going to reach the answer. And that's what happened with me. It took me around 5 minutes or 10 minutes to convince the interviewer that I know what I'm saying, I know the concept, but I just don't know the terminology. And he kept on pushing the limits to stress me, to like trying to make me understand what is the concept of expected value and what does he expect me to say in terms of the expected value of rolling 2 dices. And eventually what I presumed was correct, that it is the value with the highest frequency that occurs, the summation of the 2 dices, that is 7. So it's like individual probabilities multiplied by the numbers, and addition of all of them together would fetch me the value of the expected value when 2 dices are rolled together and their outcomes are summed. So it's 7. In most of the cases it's 7. So its probability of occurrence is the highest, and that is the expected value. I kind of didn't know that. I was hitting around the bush. So he guided me through, and I could eventually answer it to some extent, I think. And then came the second interviewer. This was the most what do you call it, the best of the 3 panelists that took my interview, and the interview went very smooth. He asked me Zinc's atomic number. I kind of knew that because I had studied about it the previous night. So I told them Zinc's atomic number, and he then asked me that like how many years back did the zinc smelting processes start in the industry. So I told him it's dating around to 1600 years ago. About the zinc smelting process did start in the ancient age itself. And thereafter he followed up with a very, very out of the box topic. He told me that I will go to periodic table, and he asked me who is the father of the modern periodic table, and I kind of remembered and I was not sure. So I told him that I'm not sure about it, but I think it's Mendeleev, and the answer clicked. It was indeed Mendeleev. And then he told me that what specialization do you want to take, like in MBA, MBA marketing, MBA operations. So definitely Vgsom is known for operations, and I am having a background which is in support of the operations. So I told him that I want to pursue operations, and this is the reason why I want to pursue, because I already know certain things of the supply chain and operations. I have been in the profile in my internship period, in my working phase experience as well. I have done several Six Sigma projects, and that's why I know the meaning of quality management. I know the meaning of supply chain. I know the meaning of how to reduce the variations or the basics of operations. So I would like to prefer MBA operations over the others. So he was pretty satisfied with the answer. And then he asked me this question, that if you are given a chance to join any company after doing your MBA, what company would it be? Now this is a very dicey question, because if you answer any company apart from what you know, you are going to be trapped in that. Because if you, like supposedly I tell I want to join X company after passing out from MBA, he would be definitely asking about the X company. What does the company do? Whether it's a consultancy company, what is the role of the consultancy company? What is the kind of role that you are expecting in the consultancy company? And what do you think you will be expected to deliver there? So these kind of questions I didn't have an idea about, because I didn't study about a particular company, but I knew about my company, the past company that I have had experience in. So I told him straight away that this is the company that I want to rejoin, and he definitely, that was followed up by another question by one more panelist, that if you want to join the same company that you have been working with, then why at all go for MBA? You can gather a higher position. So I told him that theoretical knowledge is very important along with practical demonstration, and if you have the theoretical knowledge, if you know the things, know the stuff, you can grow faster in an organization, and you can be that decision maker in the company rather than the decision taker. So I told him these things, and the growth is much faster, and if you gather the knowledge, the issues that you tackle become much more easier along with the technical and the management knowledge if you possess both of them. So he was quite kind of satisfied with the answer. Then came the third panelist, and this experience was the most thrilling experience, let me tell you, because he went into complete statistics. He asked me about skewed model, unskewed model. He asked me about normal, standard, normal. First of all, he started with probability and probability distribution. What is the difference between the two? I answered him that, which is a set, which is a subset. Probability a set, probability distribution a subset. So you have to be prepared from every sphere, like statistics, mathematics, physics, if you are going in Vgsom, because anything and everything can be asked. Do not think that only HR questions will be asked to you, or only the subjects that you are showing like Six Sigma or something like that will be asked, because Six Sigma primarily contains statistics, but not statistics in these details, because he kept on asking me like econometrician mode or something like that, which was not known to me. And I kind of didn't recollect the formulas of, he was asked me that this formula between mean, mode and median, and there is a established formula for that. I didn't remember that. Then he asked me that which is better between skewed and non-skewed normal graph. So I kind of tried to explain which one is better, but I couldn't convey the message entirely, and he was not very happy with the answer. Probably all the questions that the third panelist asked, I couldn't answer any of them properly, except the probability and probability distribution, and which is a set and which is a subset. I couldn't answer the mean, median, mode, or the skewed model thing. I tried to explain him that when the mean is like shifted on one side, and the mode and median is like having a relationship with the mean. I tried to explain it greater than, less than, but I was kind of confused myself, because that's a confusing concept and I couldn't convince him. So definitely he was not very convinced, but fortunately for me, his connection got disconnected and no further questions were there from his end. I don't think that if he would have been connected well, also he would have asked me further questions. Maybe he could have. And then came the second panelist into the rescue once again, and he asked me about my internship experience and whether it was a paid one. Once again, that played in my favor. I told him that it is a paid one. He asked me about the power efficiency of the biomethane plant that I was working in, and I kind of had an idea about the power efficiency because I had studied it prior to the interview. So I told him that details as well, and he was pretty happy with the answer. And then they wrapped up the interview. The third interviewer, who got disconnected, came back into the platform while I was leaving, and he had no further questions. And after this interview, I thought that I wouldn't be able to get in, because 50% of the answers I couldn't give, and the interview lasted about 50 minutes. But it's not about whether you can answer everything or not. They do not expect you to answer everything, because they also know that you are coming here to study and not to bag a job. They want to know how interested you are, how patient you are, how resilient you are to the questions, and how long can you survive that stress interview. And that is what worked in my favor. I think I survived the 50 minutes, and when the results were out, I was indeed shocked, because I secured about what my analysis tells me, that the cutoff was, I analyzed it from the cutoff that was kept there. My analysis told me that around 34 to 35 marks out of 40 marks in the interview I got, which was very unexpected for me from this kind of an interview, because it didn't at all go good according to me, because most of the questions I couldn't answer. But they saw the approach, they saw how resilient I am, whether I'm a perfect fit in this candidature or not, and they found me fit, and fortunately I qualified, and I am studying in Vgsom IIT Kharagpur. That's all about my experience. I hope this experience helps you guys as well for the next year. So all the very best, and if you like my work, like the page, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon to get regular updates, and you will be getting both management and technical stuff on this channel from here onwards. And hoping to keep in touch with you all. Thank you very much once again. That's it for today.